Baked pumpkin donuts have a moist, cake-like texture and are packed with warm fall flavors of pumpkin spice and pumpkin puree. An easy homemade recipe that's perfect for cool fall mornings. I'll teach you how, so stick around. Aloha mai kako, my name is Relle and welcome to my kitchen where I like to share all my favorite Hawaiian and local recipes. But bring on pumpkin season. So today we're gonna be making some baked pumpkin donuts. So yummy, and it's really easy. You don't need to deep fry it. It's a little bit on the healthier side because you don't have all that oil, but it's super simple and I'll show you how. I'd like to mahalo Foodland Hawaii for sponsoring this video. As always, thoughts and opinions are my own. So let's get started. First, we're gonna mix the dry ingredients. So into a small bowl, you're gonna take some, I like to use all-purpose flour. If you wanna use a different flour, you can. I've never tried it with like gluten-free alternatives, but if you try it, let me know. So flour, and then a little bit of baking powder. That'll help give it some rise. And then of course, you can't have pumpkin donuts without pumpkin pie spice, right? It's like just classic fall flavors here. Now, you can make your own, or you can totally buy the store-bought one. It's the same thing, they just mix it for you ahead of time. And a little bit of salt, add that in. And then all you have to do is mix it a little bit until everything is well combined. And we're gonna set this aside to mix together the wet ingredients. Into a large bowl, you're gonna get pumpkin, I was gonna say pumpkin pie, not pumpkin pie. This is plain pumpkin puree. Be careful when you buy it because they have the pumpkin pie filling. You don't want that one. You just want plain pumpkin puree. Now, I like the one out of the can, but if you wanna make your own, you totally can. Pumpkin puree in, then you're gonna need some white granulated sugar. And I say this every time, but the humidity in Hawaii just makes everything stick. You'll need a little bit of milk. Up to you what kind of milk you use. I just use regular cow's milk. If you can't have milk, you can try milk alternatives. I never tried it, but you can try. An egg. You wanna crack the egg into another container just in case you get a dud egg that has like yucky stuff in it. Then you don't lose out your whole mix that you already made. So that's why I put it into one first and then pour it in, just to make sure. So one egg, some melted butter, starting to solidify already, and of course, can't bake without vanilla extract, right? That's my favorite. Like, that smells so good too. And I like to make my own. If you want to check out that recipe, you can check out the card here or the link in the description box below. You can also just buy it from the store, but make sure you get not the imitation, get the regular one. It's so much better, promise it's worth it. And then you're gonna take either a hand mixer or a whisk or whatever you want. You can do a stand mixer and you'll just mix this until well combined. Be careful. And then when it's combined, I put them in the opposite bowls. You should put wet in to dry, but you know what? I already put it in the smaller bowl and I spilled earlier, so I wasn't gonna swap it out, so that's okay. So add this to that. And then all you wanna do is mix this until everything's well combined. Don't over mix it, it'll make it tough. When you mix flour, you develop gluten strands, and if you mix it too much, it gets too tough. So just until it's combined. And when it's done, it'll look like this. And oh my goodness, it smells so yummy. I'll show you a trick. So pumpkin donut. So what we're gonna do is take these donut pans, and you can get this online, or I've seen them at like big box stores, and it's just so well, because these are baked, they won't, it's a more loose dough, not like a regular donut where you could roll it out. This one, you kind of will pipe it into this. So I'll show you how. So you'll take your donut pan, you can get the big one or the mini ones, totally up to you. We'll spray some nonstick cooking spray, just to help it pop out a little. Okay, now here's a trick. You're gonna take a cup and either a zip top bag or one of these pastry bags, and you're gonna put that into the cup like this and flip over the edge. This acts like a stand so that you can fill the bag a lot easier, because one-handed, like filling and holding gets a little difficult. So let's give it a shot. So you can see the texture of the dough. It's more like a batter, yeah? Whereas regular donuts is more like a dough. It's a thick batter. So that'll go into your pastry bag like this, or zip top bag. You don't have to buy the special pastry bags, that's fine. And then if you get to the top like this, you can just either tap the cup down or lift it so that it goes down. See how it's not going all the way down? But I'll show you how to do it. So what you'll do is you'll go ahead and grab the edge of the bag like this and flip it up. And then all you have to do is pull it out and give it a shake like that and it'll go down. Now, if it doesn't go all the way down, that's fine too. Because what you can do is hold this side of the bag like this, and all you do is use your hand, a bench scraper or whatever, and all you have to do is push it down towards the bottom of the bag like this. Now, see how there's a little bit of a tip left? We're just gonna cut that off. The smaller you cut it, obviously the smaller the batter is gonna come out. So I usually like to cut it maybe an inch up. And I know I don't have scissors in here because it's in the wash. So we're just gonna cut it, which is fine. You can also cut it like that. I just cut off about an inch piece like that. That gets tossed. And then all you wanna do is take the top and twist it, because when you squeeze, if you don't twist it, it's gonna shoot out the other side. So twist it like that. And then we're gonna take the donut pan and all you're gonna do is fill it. Just squeeze. My multitasking skills here. I'm concentrating. But you'll just wanna make sure you fill it all the way like that. I'm gonna get the rest of the batter out of the bowl, fill this up, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I started filling the other tray before I filled this one, so that's why there's one missing. So you'll get about 8 donuts out of this. But what I wanted to show you is some of them, see how it's not pretty and not super flat. I had some extra batter, so I kind of just poured it over. What you can do is get your finger wet with some water and you'll just tap it down just to kind of make it more uniform. It'll come out nicer. So wherever it's sitting high like that, you'll just tap it down. Get your finger wet so it doesn't stick to your finger. It stays clean like that. And you can just kind of make it look a little prettier. This can always be the bottom of the donut when you flip it over anyway. So the oven is preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're gonna put this in and bake for 12 to 15 minutes or until a toothpick inserted comes out clean. I'll put it in and we'll be right back and I'll show you the delicious glaze to put on top. All right, now that the donuts are baking, I'll show you how to make a delicious glaze. And that's where Foodland comes in, because we're gonna be using Maika'i organic powdered sugar. You can get this at any of your local Foodlands in the baking section. And I really like it. It comes in a smaller size bag, so that's nice too for small batch. And it's organic, so that's awesome. Okay, so into a small bowl, you're gonna add that powdered sugar. And like I always keep saying, the humidity here. Anyway, get as much as you can out. And then you'll wanna add milk. Or you could use water, but I like to use milk. It gives it more of a rich flavor. Now, I don't like to add all of it at one time because sometimes you have to adjust. Now, recipes are guidelines. It's not always an exact science because things change. The humidity, the type, your measurement, and all that stuff. So I would recommend not just dumping the whole thing in. Probably half at a time first. And then you'll also add a little bit of vanilla extract. Now, this I'm gonna do just plain vanilla, but if you wanted, you could add some cinnamon and do like a cinnamon glaze, or you could even add a little bit more of the pumpkin spice in it, and that's super yummy too. So you'll mix it up, and see, lucky I didn't pour in all of the, all of the milk because it's a little too thin. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a little bit more powdered sugar. And we'll add that in and I'll be right back and I'll show you the final consistency. Okay, added a little bit more powdered sugar. So I guess it's a good thing that this happened. You know what I did earlier when I measured out all my ingredients? I halved the icing amount or the powdered sugar, and I didn't half the milk when I measured it like a ding dong. But anyway, so if you end up with that problem where it's too loose, like you added too much liquid, the nice thing is you can just add a little bit more powdered sugar. And same thing, you don't wanna add too much because then you're gonna be right back to too thick, and then you'll have to add more liquid. It takes a lot more of the powdered sugar than it does the liquid to come back the other way. So if it's too thick, really it's just a couple of drops at a time. But when you add the powdered sugar, it's gonna take a lot more. So it depends how you wanna glaze the donuts. You can either dunk it in and this consistency would be fine, or if you drizzle it over, you can make it a little bit thicker. So totally up to you. This one's a little bit on the thinner side, but that's fine. So when the donuts come out and they cool down slightly, I'll show you how to glaze it up and have a delicious fall treat. All right, now that the pumpkin donuts have cooled off, make sure they cool off before you touch the pan. I touched the pan with my finger earlier, not so fun. And then what you'll do is you'll just tip them over and they should slide right out. So one side obviously is nicer than the other. This was the side that was up. And then we'll flip this one. And because of the cooking spray, it comes out super easy. Okay, couple of different ways we can glaze these. We can do the dunk technique where you take that glaze that we just made earlier to that consistency. And then all you'll have to do is take a pumpkin donut. We'll put this side. The side that was in the pan, we'll dunk that side in because that's the nice side. And then all you have to do is dunk it in, give it a little twist, and drip off the excess. And that's the dunk top one. Do one more. So top side in, all you're really doing is touching it down into the glaze, let the excess drip off like this, and you kind of just flick your wrist and that'll, oh, this one has a, it connected. You just give it a little bit of a shake. That's to prevent that extra drip from happening. One more for good luck. Shake, and then you just give your wrist a twist like that, and it stops it from dropping down. So that's one way. The other way, quick, a little bit quicker, a little bit less glaze though, so it depends. If you like a lot of glaze, do it the dunk technique. If you like a little bit, then all you have to do is grab your fork or spoon or whatever, and you'll just go over it like this. So the tines of the fork makes it a little bit trickier than a spoon, but I don't know, it's kind of more artsy that way, huh? Let the kids help you. And that's how you make baked pumpkin donuts. If you want more pumpkin recipes, then check out this playlist here. And until next time, hui ho!